Hello, hello, my brothers and sisters. Come on in, come on in, come on in and get some good content. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We at the over the hump day of the week. Come on in. We have made it to the hump and we're about to get over the hump and we're about to soon be sliding into the weekend if it's the Lord's will. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. I'm waiting for you all. Come on. Come on in. Come on. The door is open. Come on in and get you a seat. We got plenty of seats up here at the front. Come on. Come a little closer. Those of you that are at the back, come on up a little closer. Come on up a little closer. We're about to get into some good content tonight. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that you enjoying the good music by my boy Genesis. He be rocking it. Come on in, come on in, come on in, brothers and sisters. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. All right. How you doing out there, brothers? How you doing out there, sisters? I'm trying to give a few more people a little time to get in. Come on in, come a little closer. We're about to jump into this content tonight. How you all doing out there this beautiful night? Me, myself, brothers and sisters, I am doing excellent, blessed, with a twist of serenity. If I were back there with the Flintstones, I'd say yabba dabba do. That is how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling all energetic. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. How are you all feeling out there, my brothers and sisters? I hope that you all doing well. I hope that your day been going well. And if you're here at this particular point of the evening, you are truly blessed. There are a lot of people, my brothers and sisters, that have not made it to this point. They were with us earlier, but for some reason, God decided to, say that it's over with. So my brothers and sisters, you are blessed. You are blessed. You are blessed to be here. There's no need of complaining, my brothers and sisters. How you doing, Sister Cheryl? There's no need of complaining, my brother and sister, about anything that's going on in your life, because guess what, brother and sister? You are blessed. How you doing, Sister Kimberly Kim? Now, we're about to shortly get into the content for tonight. But let me introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, my brother and sister, and I talk about relationship. For those of you that have never heard of me before, I talk about relationship, and I keep it specifically on the relationship between a man and a woman. That should be serious, committed, and it should convert to a covenant relationship. I talk about relationship basically, my brother and sister, from a biblical point of view. When I say biblical point, I'm talking about a man and a woman. If you believe in the origin of a relationship, God had a unique relationship with a man called Adam, and he had a solo relationship with Adam. After he got Adam together, and then he put this deep sleep on Adam, then he stepped to the side with the rib of Adam, and he formed this beautiful creation or creature called the woman. And when he brought this woman towards the man looked upon her in front of God, in the presence of God, and said, "Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I shall call a woman, because she came from man." If you don't believe that from the Bible, the biblical standpoint, my brother and sister, you believe in any other type of relationship, you can do whatever you choose to do. You got what is called a free will. How you doing, Sister Keisha? How you doing, Mother, and my sister? You got a free will. So you can exercise your free will. But I'm telling you, my brother and sister, it's best to be in a relationship from a biblical standpoint. When God created the man and the woman, how you doing, Sister Flo? There's no perfect relationships, my brother and sister, but you can be in the right type of relationship. You will never be in a perfect relationship, not while you're here on earth, because there's not one man that's perfect. There's not one woman that's perfect. We all striving, you know what I mean? But if you have the Lord in your life, you can get somewhere. With that said, my brothers and sisters, we're about to get into the content for tonight. The content for tonight is how to really know that your relationship is over. How you doing, Sister Jane? How to really know that your relationship is really over. Those of you that just coming in, come a little close. We got some seats at the front. How you doing, Deborah Scott? Go ahead and get you a bag of popcorn and soda. Sister Flo Harvey Martin, she just provided that for us. So go ahead. I want you all you can even take your shoes off. I'm not even going to be smelling your feet tonight. Just go ahead and take your shoes off, cross your leg, chill, sit back in the chair, and chill. Now, my brother and sister, when it comes to the heart, we have to guard our hearts, my brother and sister. You cannot take your heart for granted, okay? Don't take your heart for granted. You're supposed to guard your heart. How you doing, Sister Harvey? You're supposed to guard your heart. If you don't guard your heart, my brother and sister, you could set yourself up to be really bamboozled, and you could really have, seriously speaking, you might be thinking about committing suicide. That's why you have to guard your heart, and you have to have your priorities in order. My brother and sister, before I get really into this content, what your heart should be focused on is make sure that your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength is first of all on the Lord. Because as you know, my brother and sister, we're living in this imperfect world. And if we're living in this imperfect world, things can happen. Bad things happen to good people, okay? Bad things happen to good people. However, with the bad, God can make a good way out of whatever you have gotten yourself into. Because sometimes we might make the wrong decisions and choices, okay? Now, how to really know that your relationship is over? The person that you're with, my brothers, the person that you're with, my sister, you got to understand this. I'm going to make 3 points, and listen very carefully to these 3 points, okay? Number 1. The Lord Jesus, he said this, and he said that it is written in Matthew chapter 7, 16 through 18. Again, that's Matthew chapter 7, 16 through 18. Listen very carefully when it comes to people. The Lord would talk about prophets and everything, but it can not only go for prophets and false teachers, it can go for the everyday man, and it could go for the everyday woman. Check this out again, Matthew chapter 7, 16 through 18. Jesus said, by their fruits, you will recognize them. Okay, by the fruit, you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? No. Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, and every bad tree bears bad fruit. A tree, my brothers, a tree, my sister, cannot bear bad fruit, and a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. You understand that? The Lord Jesus saying that. So whenever you see a tree, it's going to either produce some good fruits or bad fruits. It can't do both of them, okay? It's going to be one of the two. Another thing, when we go to Jeremiah 13:23, again at Jeremiah 13:23, Jeremiah 13:23, Jeremiah asked this question. Jeremiah said, can the Ethiopian change his skin? This is a question what Jeremiah asked. He said, can an Ethiopian change his skin, or a leopard his spot? Then may you also do good that is accustomed to doing evil. So what is Jeremiah saying? He asked this question, can an Ethiopian change his skin? No, it can't be done. Can a leopard change his spot? No, it can't be done. So my brother and sister, when you're in a relationship with someone, we got to go to Sister Maya Angelou too. This is a third backup to what I'm going to say. Sister Maya Angelou, and you all familiar with that name. She's a celebrated American poet, singer, and she's a civil rights activist. Oh, again, Taton. But she is credited for saying, when someone show you who they are, believe them the first time. So my brother and sister, when a man, sister, or brother, woman show you who they are, you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, that's where you get yourself set up at. And when you get yourself set up because you don't believe what you see, a lot of you brothers and a lot of you sisters, when you get into a relationship, you get into a relationship based on fantasy. Fantasy is not true. That's for the Disney stuff and some of that stuff you see on TV and all that. That is not reality. So sisters aren't the only ones, brothers, that think about fantasy. It's some of you brothers out there, you grew up and you think about fantasy too. You think that you can be Prince Charming. You're not Prince Charming, brothers. You're not no Prince Charming. So the reality of it is, we got to understand this, my brother and sister. It comes down to human behavior and patterns, okay? When you're in a relationship with someone, my brother and sister, it's very vital and it's very imperative that you remember two things, and you need to have your eyes open. Not only have the Lord given you spiritual insight when he give you wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and discernment. With all of that, you have to use all of that when you think about embarking on a relationship, brother, with a woman and sister, when you think about embarking on a relationship with a man. Okay, we'll talk about human behavior, and you can't put yourself in a position to think something otherwise. Now, human behavior, my brother and sister, is the potential and expression or capacity of the mental, physical, and social of human individual or group to respond to internal and external stimulus throughout their lives, okay? So a man and a woman, it takes the mental, it takes the physical, and society as a whole to respond to something internal. How you doing, Brother Jane? And something external to stimulate throughout the life. So that's what human behavior is. Now, what is a pattern? A pattern is something that repeated in a predictable way. That's what a pattern is. So my brother and sister, when you are in a relationship with someone, it's human behavior and it's patterns. You got to understand it. It's human behavior and pattern. Now, in Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, 9 through 10. Again, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, 9 through 10. Ecclesiastes 1, 9 through 10. I know some of you all said, Tony, why you keep saying it 3 times? It's a reason why. Because I want it to be embedded in your mind so you could probably go back and look at some of the stuff that I explained to you, okay? Now, King Solomon, when he wrote this, he was inspired to write this, and my brother and sister, take this to heart. King Solomon said, what has been will be again. Okay, he said, what has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. You understand? What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything on which one can say, look, this is something new? It was already long ago. It was here before our time. So what is King Solomon saying? When it comes to relationship, we're going to take this when it comes to relationship between a man and a woman. Brother and sister, believe me, if you're going through some bad things with a person, at this particular time, you think that you're the only one that's going through this. You think that you're the only one that no one understands. But let me tell you this, my brother and sister, whatever you're going through, someone else have gone through it. Someone else have gone through it. Some are going through it right now with you, but you don't know the person. And if the Lord allow tomorrow to come, somebody going to go into it tomorrow. Because life, my brothers and sisters, it's about storms in life. You got seasons. And in the season, you're going to have the sun and you're going to have the rain. Let me tell you about the sun, my brothers and sisters. When it comes to about the sun, when you look at the sun in the sky, sometimes you can see the sun, right? But you know not to look at it directly. But my point is this, when you know that the sun up there, the sun never go anywhere, my brother. So you know why the sun never go nowhere? Even on cloudy days, when it's raining, the sun never goes nowhere. is still up there. Even though the clouds come and block the ray, the sun still shines. I tell you what, for those of you that have never been on an airplane before, get on an airplane. Get in the airplane and the weather start getting rough, okay? Once you get in the airplane, what they normally do, they'll go up, they'll ascend higher and higher. And some of you know what I'm talking about. You'll be flying over the clouds, right? And when you fly over the cloud, it's beautiful, blue, and it's sunny. You see what I'm saying? So Sister Jane said 100% watch their pattern and behavior. You're right. You will know and see exactly what you need to know. Amen, sister. Amen. So, my brother and sister, we're talking about pattern and behavior, and we're also talking when it comes to pattern and behavior, man and woman can never change. Every man and every woman has a behavior. Every man and every woman have a pattern. If you're in a relationship with someone, you, my brother, and you, my sister, that person that's in the relationship with you, that person is like a book. That person that you're in a relationship with, look at that person as if he or she's in a book. And when we look at a book, we know that it's have a cover. It have a front and back cover. And in the middle of it, it have pages, okay? So when we talk about a book, the front and the back, that's that person's body, okay? The real person is the pages in the book. That's what you want. You cannot know what's in a book by looking at the front cover or the back cover. That's the body. You cannot know. What you need to do, my brother and sister, you need to get in the book. Some people, they want to see the front part, the first few pages, and the last few pages. That don't tell you everything about a book. You have to actually take your time and read the book. And when it comes to reading the book, you have to be able to read that person that you're in a relationship with. You have to know. If you don't know, that's where a lot of us can get into trouble, because you ignore some things. Like B.B. King said, the thrill is gone. And when it comes to the thrill, you know, at the beginning of the relationship, my brother and sister, everything is so hunky-dory, right? Everything is so hunky-dory. You happy. You can't wait to call that person. You can't wait to see a text message. And you just go on and on. You go out, you have a good time, and you think it can't get no better. And it goes like to the beginning of the relationship. Like I always say, my brother and sister, at the beginning of the relationship, you never meet the real person. You never. I never met the real person. The person that I have dated never met the real person. It takes time to learn about the real person. And if you decide to invest in a person, when you decide to get serious, committed, and covenant, even when you get married, you still don't know the person. You have to learn. It's a growth thing. You know what I'm saying? Because no man and no woman, believe me, my brother and sister, no man or no woman is 100% transparent. That's including me. No man or no woman, and that's including you brothers and you two sisters. None of us is 100% transparent. The only person that has ever lived that is 100% transparent is the Lord Jesus. He's the only one that has walked the earth in a body that's 100% transparent. Adam and Eve, they knew what it was like one time. But other than Adam and Eve, that's right, Brother James, growing praying, you're going to have to learn that person, okay? Now, are any of you right now going through the motion with a person? You see, after the thrill and everything gone, that's when layers start coming out. Because the more you be around a person, the more that person going to start relaxing. As a matter of fact, brother, let me tell you this. Brothers, normally when you meet a woman, she's going to be looking real good, okay? She's going to have on makeup. Hopefully it's not a lot of makeup, but she's going to have on makeup. But that's not her. That's not her, brother. The real lady behind the makeup is when you start spending time with her, you're going to see that makeup going to come off. If she's wearing a girdle and it's sucking stuff in, you're going to see something after a while. You know what I mean? If she got that girdle on and all that tight stuff, You're going to see something after a while when she starts getting relaxed, and you're going to see the true woman. As a matter of fact, some of you brothers, you wear these girl things now too. Some of you. So you pull these girl shirts on, brother. And so you walking around, think you like you Atlas and everything. And the woman thinking you got a 6-pack and everything until you start getting relaxed. And then she going to see you with that shirt off, that pulling everything. And then she going to see maybe a little beer. You've been drinking a little beer. You understand what I'm saying? And then too, some of the sisters, they be wearing those girls too. And they be looking real good. How you doing, Sister Jack? They be looking real good with those girdles on. And then when they take the girdle off, everything just go whoop, boop, 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 boop. You see everything. So what am I saying? You're going to see the person on the outside first, okay? But the real thing is the person that's on the inside, okay? This is where we go to pattern and behavior. For example, some people, they have an off and on relationship. What causes an off and on relationship? What causes an off and on relationship is one or both of the parties, they're not serious about one another. Have you ever thought about this, my brother and sister? People call themselves in a relationship with one another, and they could live in the same city. That's right, Sister Flo. They could live in the same city, but weeks can go by and they don't see one another, and they be off. They don't work all that time. Let me tell you all something. There's a person that I know right now. This person was single and was seeing 2 different other people, okay? So y'all trying to say, what gender is this? What gender? Just go by what I'm saying. Person. That was this one particular person that was seeing 2 other individuals, one in the city and one out of town. Can you believe this? That the person seen this other person that was out of town more than the person that was in town. I mean, states over. So what am I saying? The person that was in town was supposed to be really dating the person that's in town, but then hardly see the person, but seeing the other person that's out of town more, like a few states over. That's crazy, isn't it? So there are some relationships that are off and on. Like I said, either one or 2 of the parties is not willing to invest in a relationship. So they get together every now and then. So they really not learning one another. So let me tell you this, my brother and sister, if you are in an off and on relationship, you're not one of the top priorities in that person's life. Don't think that that person's sitting down just waiting to see what you going to do, my brother and sister. That person not waiting on you. That person got another full life that you don't even know about. But the bad thing about it is if you in a relationship with someone and you get, as Jada Pinkett would say, but this is not her real word, entangled. You get entangled with someone and you glued to that person, but that person is not glued to you. And then that person will probably have you thinking that he or she is in a relationship with you. But you know what? You could see the handwriting on the wall. You see it, but you ignoring it. You see it. And then there are some of you brothers and sisters, you might be living with an individual. And everything started off good. Even to the point where you might have married the person. Everything has started off good. But now, as we speak, your relationship have been reduced to roommates. You're roommates. Some people that are married, they stay together for, quote unquote, the sake of the children. Some people stay together, quote unquote, for financial reasons. What happened years ago, the thrill is gone. So now they just up under the roof And some people, they call themselves married. And before you, my brother, and before you, my sister, when they get out in public, a lot of them, believe me, my brother and sister, a lot of people that are roommates, when they get out in public, when they get in front of Facebook and social media and all that kind of stuff, it appears like they got a good relationship. It appears, and some people, they want to keep that image in front of everybody. How you doing, Sister Thomas? They want to keep that image in front of everyone. They want people to think that they have it going on. To tell you the truth, my wife and I, we are not perfect. We're a long way from being perfect, but we're in the right relationship. The only way my wife and my relationship is able to function, my brother and sister, is only because of Jesus Christ. It's only because of Jesus Christ. Because it's some things about me I need some work on, and it's some things about her that she has some work on. I studied her pattern and behavior. She studied my pattern and behavior. How you doing, Sister Taylor? So it's very imperative, my brother, so that you understand the person that you're with. And I'm going to tell you this. What happened at the beginning of the relationship is not going to stay the same, my brothers and sisters. It's not going to stay the same. As time goes on, a man is going to change and a woman is going to change. Newsflash, my brother and sister, that person that you met years ago is not going to be the same person if you're with that person year from now. Now, that person going to have some predictable pattern and behavior. Understand that. But when that person get older, that person going to be exposed to more things. That person's thought process is going to change too. So if you were with someone for 5 years, I'm just throwing a thing out there. That person going to do something that he or she used to do 5 years ago. But if you study that person, his or her thought processes is going to change. That's especially if the person is mature. That person's thought process is going to change, right? Now, when it comes to pattern and behavior, it's very true, my brother and sister. Whatever you done at the beginning, when it comes to a relationship, whatever you doing at the beginning, some people say that you should keep doing the same thing over and over again, what you did at the beginning. No, my brother, and no, my sister, you don't do the same thing that you did at the beginning. You should enhance and grow upon that. You understand? Don't do the same thing that you did at the beginning. You're supposed to build on it, because at the beginning, it was a foundation. It was just like building a house. You pour that sand, not quicksand, but you pour that cement in. And when the cement hard, that's the foundation. You have to have a foundation. And once you have the foundation, you building a home. Okay, you building a home. You see, a man and a woman, you could be, let me tell you something, my brother and sister. We use the word home lightly. When you go into a structure that like a house or an apartment or a condo, that's not the home. The home is the individual that live inside of that brick or wood or whatever you want to call it. The home is on the inside of that house. Speaking of that, my brother and sister, see, your body is like a house. You live inside your body, which is your soul and your spirit. You live inside. So the real person is on the inside of my brothers and sisters. That person is on the inside. Let me tell you something, my brother and sister. When it comes how to know that your relationship is really over, things start changing for the worse. Somebody or both parties are not making an effort in the relationship. It get to the point where I don't care what he or she does. And then there are 3 factors when a relationship is going to an end, and you have to be able to identify it, okay? Be able, 3 things I'm about to put up and let you in on, my brother and sister. First of all, a lot of time, if the person that's in, you got 2 individuals in a relationship, prefer the man and a woman. That's what I basically talk about. If the relationship start going south, and one is holding on. A lot of time one is holding on. And majority of the time who really try to keep relationships together, most of the time the women, I must say, women try to keep the relationship together longer. Women try to, when women start asking you questions and trying to get help and stuff like that, they are trying to get your attention. When they start asking questions, when they start talking, even to the point of wanting to go to counsel. But a lot of you brothers, you don't want to be told nothing. You don't want to be told what to do. You don't want to listen to no other person. And then there's on the flip side too, sister, there's some guys that be trying to tell you things, but guys, a lot of times they are not more verbally expressive than you, sister. And sometimes these guys be telling you all stuff, but you don't listen. So what happens? A man or a woman get to the point that's into you, they get to the point whereas they start dying on the inside. They start dying on the inside. They get to a point where they try to put it in your face and they start dying on the inside. Now, if you are the person that's trying to hold on to the relationship and that other person is gone, because let me tell you something, before that person physically leave out of the home, that person is checking out mentally, willfully, and emotionally on you. The last part when a person check out a relationship is his or her body. The mind is gone somewhere else. The will is gone somewhere else. And the emotion going somewhere else. And not only that, you talk about the finances and all kinds of stuff. The person is getting all his or her stuff together because you are about to be dumped or you're about to be ghosted. Or you're about to be Grinch. You come home and it's not Christmas time, but you're about to be Grinch. You feel it. You feel that the person about to make a move, but you can't put your finger on it. A lot of time when a person about to move on, sometimes you could feel something about to happen. You get that dreaded feeling that something is about to go down. And the reason why some of you brothers and sisters get bamboozled too late, it's just like this. Let's say, for example, you living in an apartment or you living in a house and you don't pay to stay there, right? But you living there for free, right? What happens? You're gonna start getting some warnings that you need to pay your bill. You ignoring it. You know you need to pay it, but you start ignoring it. So what happened? You go to whoever owned the house or apartment, go to court, file papers to get ready to present it to you. The police, where the sheriff will come to your house, knock on the door. If you're not there, they're gonna use a tack or something and put it on your door. So you still ignoring the signs, right? Let me tell you something, my brother and sister. When someone furniture and everything get taken out of the house or the apartment or whatever, he or she had a warning. Don't ever believe somebody said that they just came and did me wrong. They threw me out. No. That man or woman, they had warning. They had warnings that it was going to go down, but they was in what is called denial. Denial is defined as the failure to acknowledge an unacceptable truth or emotion or to admit it into the conscious, usually as a defense mechanism. So a lot of you brothers, a lot of you sisters, you're in a relationship right now and you know that it's going to come to an end. But you put yourself in denial and you're using that as a defense mechanism. You failing to acknowledge and you don't want to accept the truth because of your emotion or to admit it into your conscience. So consciously, you're trying to keep it out. You seeing things, but you don't want to see it. You see the truth, but you do not want to face the truth until it hits you right in your face. And when it hits you right in your face, it's going to hurt you more because you don't want to accept it when you see it. And I'm going to tell you this, my brother and sister, when it comes to denial. Some of you brothers and some of you sisters are trying to hold on. Some of you brothers trying to hold on to a woman that don't want you anymore. I know it's hard to believe, but you think you a bag a bag of chips and all that kind of stuff. But brother, there might come a time that a woman just don't want to be with you no more. She don't want to be with you, period. And sister, there are some guys, I know you think you got it, everything going on. That man don't want you no more. He don't want you no more. I know that's hard to hear, my brothers and sisters. I know it's hard. But a person can get to the point where they don't want you no more. Some people will try to do it in a soft way. And some things about this too, my brother and sister. You have to listen to some key words like, I think we need time apart. Key phrases. I think we need some time apart. Or they might say, I need some time to myself. When you hear stuff like, I think we need some time apart, or I need to my silence, that is a warning. It's a warning. But you want to ignore it. Some people might be point blank say, I don't want you no more. I just don't want you. I don't want the relationship. And I know that's devastating. Some people are going to do it soft and some people are going to do it hard, but it's still you in denial. So once it's the denial part, my brother and sister, you got to get to the point what is called acceptance. You got to accept that that person don't want a relationship with you. I know you think that nobody else is better than that person. I know you think that. My brother, my sister, I have walked down that road before. I have walked down that road. I know what it's like to try to hold on to somebody. I know what it's like. It's hard. When it happened to me years ago, I tried to hold on, but I didn't hold her leg. I didn't beg her to stay with me or nothing like that. It got down to this, my brother and sister. I told her, before she was about to leave out, I said this. I said, once you walk out that door, you're not coming back. Because some people, they be playing games. People could play games to the point where they actually move out and they want you to run after them. But not me. Not Tony T. I did not do it. Sister Foster, that man don't want you no more. That woman don't want you no more. I think I will say that no more time. That's right. And let me tell you what happened in this situation with me, my brother and sister. I'm telling you, Carl, I have walked down that road before. In this particular relationship, she decided to leave. How you doing, Sister Mina? There's someone for everyone. We might just haven't found them yet. That's true. When this happened, this particular person thought that I was going to chase. Now, I had an impulse to call. I must be realistic. I wanted to call. I did. I wanted to call. I wanted to go where that person would act and knock on the door and say, can we talk about it? I had those desires. Those are human desires, my brothers and sisters, but I held back. I held back because what would hurt more if you pursuing after someone, that's right, the dope slayer, when you pursuing after someone and if someone say, I just don't want a relationship no more. Don't you see I don't want a relationship no more? So I was not going to put myself in that situation. You see, this is what happened. You cry now or you cry later. Women will cry in front of anybody most of the time. Women will cry in front. Men don't do that. And I have said this a lot of times. Men cry in the dark. What do I mean by men cry in the dark? Men break down when no one else does not be around. So the man that you see that's supposed to be the quote-unquote man, men will do it. But you see the thing, our society tell men, man up, don't do it. You see, when it comes to stuff like breakup relationship, a woman, she will have some girlfriends, she will have some family and stuff. They would try to console her. Men really do not have that, my brother. So men really don't have no good support. Now, they may have some men that they hang around with, but how men normally operate, it might be one. If you have 5 male friends, it might be one that will console you. And he's not going to do it that long. Let me tell you how men mostly do it. And I have said this before. Most of the time, if a man is going through some stuff with his woman, if he shared with his boys will probably say, let her go. That's how men talk. Let her go, man. It's so many women out there. You ain't got to be running after. That's how men talk. Especially if you go like to a club or something like that, and you sitting there drinking, and your friends, they laughing and stuff, and you trying to have a good time. She'll say, I don't want you anymore. Leave me alone before I have to restrain. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, too. They'll get to that part. You don't want to get to the part where they want to put restraining order on you, because then it get legal. You don't want no legal stuff on you, my brothers and sisters. You don't want that legal stuff. People do crazy things. And let me tell you this, my brothers and sisters, a lot of time when that person say he or she want time from you, or they think that you all should have time, majority of the time, not all the time, but majority of the time, that person have been building his or her life and getting it together. Because remember I said the mind, the will, and the emotion, that leads before the body. Most of the time, my brother and sister, I know you don't want to hear this. If you're in a relationship with someone and it's about to go down, it's sinking real fast, like the Titanic. You know, the Titanic, that was the ship that they said could not sink, but we know that it's sunk, right? So you had a relationship like the Titanic, but that little part of that ice, it brought the Titanic down, and that's what happened to your relationship, brother, sister. You being Titanic. That's a good one y'all can use. You been Titanic. You start using that tomorrow. I know some of you all want to start using that word when you hear something. Oh, yeah, you just been Titanic. They're going to say, what is Titanic? Brother Tony said that when you're on a ship, like the ship, and you're in a relationship, it's all good and gravy, but then that little ice come up. The ice represent a problem, a major problem. Where was the big problem with that ice? Down up under the water. That's where the big problem was at, and that's where the big problem is in a relationship, my brother and sister, between you and that other person. So try not to be Titanic, okay? Now, when that man or woman more than likely trying to transition out of a relationship, let me tell you, I know some of you people are in a relationship right now. Let me tell you the truth. And this is why I said not all the time, not all the time, not all the time. But more than likely, brother, your woman is seeing another man. I know that, I know it hurt. But more than likely, she done start seeing another man. Not all the time, but the chances are great that she's seeing another man. Also, sisters, a lot of time when men about to transition all the way out, I hate to tell you this, not all the time, but a lot of time they're talking to another woman or women, and they're gone. So after the denial, you got to get past the denial, and you got to get to the second part that's called acceptance. Sister Nisa said, then they start to stalk you and drive by your house and can't take no. That's right. Sometimes people like that. That's when it get real dangerous. Sister Keisha said, what if a guy lost his wife for over 35 years and he tell you that he's not ready for anyone at this time, but he keeps reaching out with morning texts? That type of man, Sister Keisha, if he say that he's not ready, don't give him no wifely privileges, because there's a lot of people, they would use stuff like that. If he's not ready, he just ain't ready. Take him at his word, Keisha. Take the man at his word. If he said he's not ready, he's not ready. And this is what some women, some of you sisters, you don't realize. If a man tell you that he's not ready, what did I say? What did I say now? What did Maya Angelou say? She said, when someone show you who they are, believe them the first time. We'll talk about pattern and behavior. Believe. I know you don't want to believe it, some of you sisters. You don't want to believe, and that for some of you brothers too. If a woman tell you, brother, look, I just want to see where this go to. Hey, we can hang out. Believe her. Brother and sister, don't try to change no one's mind. You got to understand, my brother and sister, you cannot change a man or woman's mind. That man or woman have to change his or her own mind. Even if you get married to a person. Some people, you'll get married to a person, think you could change that person's mind to do something what you want them to do, and it get worse. Because you got to understand, my brother and sister, every man and every woman have an individual soul. Every man think and act differently from a woman. Everyone, they still come down to pattern behavior. When somebody show you who he or she is, believe me. And let me tell you this, my brother and sister. If you are in a relationship with someone and it started off good, and then the Titanic hit this iceberg and it started sinking. Some of you, listen to me carefully. You go to God to pray. You go to God, you got to understand when you pray to God, you might pray to God and say, God, I want you to change that. Some of you sisters said, God, I want you to change that man. Some of your brothers said, I want you to change this woman. But let me tell you something about God, my brother and sister. God is not going to change them. You know why God is not going to change them? Because God gave each of a free will. You got to understand that, my brother and sister. Every man and every woman has what is called a free will. God is not going to make that man or woman go against his or her free will. Just like Adam and Eve. God gave Adam and Eve a free will. Adam and Eve decided whether or not they want to follow God or follow Satan. They made a decision. But once they made a decision, it's called truth or consequences, right? Truth or consequences. They had to face a consequence. You understand? So my brother and sister, if a man and woman decide to leave you, you got to understand this. Don't look at yourself as a failure. Even you divorced people. They have gone through a divorce. You might have been divorced more than one time. That don't mean that you're a failure. Some of you allow the world to say that you're a failure because you've been divorced 1, 2, or 3 times. That doesn't mean that you're a failure. You just had a failed relationship. There are some people that have never been married, but they've been through several relationships. Do you call that person a failure? They just had some failure relationship. Now, if a person decides he or she a failure, then so you are. Whatever you believe about yourself, that's what you are. If you think that you're a failure, you're a failure. You have to think that you're not a failure. You just had a bad relationship. You went through a bad relationship. Yeah, Sister Nisa said, I asked him to change me. That's right. That's the appropriate thing to ask God. Because God is not going to make no man or no woman do nothing. The only thing God would do is this. If a man and a woman decide to work on their relationship and they include God in it, he would do something. Because the man willfully want the relationship to work. The woman want the relationship to willfully work. And then they invite the Lord in it because the Lord's supposed to be in it from the beginning. That's why at the beginning of a relationship, you cannot be unequally yoked. And when I say unequally yoked, brother or sister, if you're in Christ and that other person is not in Christ, you got to listen to me carefully. If that man or woman is not in Christ and you in the dating market, don't get unequally yoked. Don't get married to somebody, my brother. Don't get married to a woman and you think she's going to start following you and she going over to this worship place over here. More than likely, brother, she going to try to get you to compromise. You following Christ and you going over here to worship, right, with other believers, right? But you got this woman going to another congregation and she wants you to compromise. And she wants you to go to her place sometime and your place sometime. And some of you weak back brothers, you agree to that. Did Christ agree with the church or a group of called out people? Did Christ compromise? Did Christ compromise? No, he didn't. The church, which are a group of called out people, Jesus put it like this: follow me. Jesus never said, I'm going to follow you. Jesus never said that, bro. That's why you have to take your clue from Jesus. You don't follow a woman. A woman is just like the church. You are just like Christ. You understand? Christ represents the man in the relationship. The woman represents the Church, did you know that Jesus is engaged to the church? And he will be married to the church when he comes back. That's a group of call out people. When Jesus comes, Jesus is not going to come and follow no one. Jesus never followed no one. He only followed his Father. You got to understand that, brother. So why, jellyback brother, why you following her? Why are you compromising? What happened to Samson? I mean, not what happened to Samson. What happened to Solomon? What happened to Solomon? He believed in God, right? And I'm sure at the beginning, Solomon tried to get these women to follow after God, but they wouldn't. They was into their own worship and their own thing. So what did Solomon do? He compromised. And when Solomon compromised, what happened? They stole his heart away from God. And that's a danger, brother. That's why it don't take, Solomon had a whole bunch of women, and they turned his heart. It don't take but one woman to turn your heart if she's not following God. You got to understand that, my brother. And then some of you sisters, if you following Christ and this man is not following Christ, you in a danger too. Because you probably going to try to please that man. So you get married to him. He's not going to worship. You going to worship yourself. You're going to worship and he home popping a beer and all that kind of stuff on the Sunday. He can go with you, but he will not. You married the son of Satan, sister. That's what you did. You thought that it was going to happen. You can't change no one mind. You got to understand it, my brother. You cannot change no one mind. And that's what happened to some of you brothers and some of you sisters. You get into these entanglements and it doesn't work. So you have to, after the denial, my brother and sister, you got to get to the acceptance part. The acceptance part is defined as willingness to tolerate a difficult or unpleasant situation. So when it comes to acceptance, you have to be willing to tolerate something that's difficult or unpleasant. That man or the woman don't want you. They don't want you. So accept it. It's difficult. Yes, it's difficult. Because you probably invest a whole bunch in it. And it's an unpleasant feeling. Now, my single brother, my single sister, it hurts. It hurt when you're married and it hurt when you're single and dating. Now, my single brother and sister, the transition may be a little easier for you to roll unless you done tied yourself up with putting your names and stuff on property and stuff. And that's what, let me tell you, my single brother and sister, don't put your name on stuff with another person if you're not married to them. Don't do it. I have seen it so many times. Some of you brothers and sisters, you get houses together and you think it's cute because both your names on the house, right? Let somebody die. And the family member's going to come in. You know those family members that come over your house for the barbecues and all that kind of stuff, and they walking around that big old house, and they say, ooh, you sure got a big old house. And then one of them die, and their names is on the house. Do you think, my single brother and sister, that it's all yours just because that person died? Nope. Nope, it's not. Depending on what state you are in. If that person, let's say that person got some children, they could tie it up in court, even if you have a will. You understand that? Even if you have a will. Let me tell you about a will. I live in the state of Georgia. I stay in the state of Georgia. And when it comes to will, some people still can contest wills. Even though it's in the will, they can contest the will. How you doing, Sister Jacqueline? They can do that, my brother, sister. You got to use your wisdom. You got to utilize your knowledge, your understanding and discernment. Because when people die or whatever, it's only popping. And I'll tell you this, some of you married people, you married and you separated. You married and separated, and your mate gone somewhere living all out of town somewhere, right? Doing his or her thing. You ain't been together for 20 years. You got your little girlfriend and you got your little boyfriend, and the house where you stay at is in your name. The car that you got is in your name. The stocks and bond is in your name. A lot of stuff is in your name. Single brother and sister. If you're in a relationship with someone that got everything in his or her name, and she is married, but they separated, that's a little cute word. Or they legally separated, that's another little cute word. They gone for years. They don't even call each other, right? Die. Sister and brother, let that person die that got everything in his or her name. Guess who's coming to town? That man or that woman, they're going to dress with a black suit on. The men going to have a black suit on probably, right? Or the wife, she's going to come to town and she's going to dress in all that black and she's going to have that little black veil and she's going to want to get in the funeral car and she don't want you in it because she the wife. But you've been with that man 20-some years, but she the wife. So she think she going to just walk in. Say, excuse me, I'm his wife. And you are? And then a man, he come in. Yeah, it ain't Santa Claus. And the man come in, he might not say nothing. He look at you, bro, and he might even fist bump you, bro. Hey, bro, what's up? What's up, bro? But his wife, rolling, she got a lot of stuff in her name and stuff. And homeboy, he's staying out of town. He come, and the next thing you know, you find out you finna get kicked out because you done moved into her house. Yep. Some of you brothers, you done moved into that woman's house, her name on it. And some of you brothers don't even know this. Her husband's name might be on the house. Did you know that? Her husband's name could be on the house. And vice versa. And you thought it was in that person's name that you were living with, right? And y'all did all this stuff together. And sister, let me tell you something. Some of you single sisters. Let me tell you something. If you don't have no form of resources, you don't have no resources at all because this man, Big Daddy, been taking care of you, right? Big Daddy don't want you to have a job, right? Big Daddy taking care of you, and you on Facebook and social media talk about your man do this, your man do that. Child, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do nothing. He paid all my bills. Wait a minute, let me see where he at. He paid all my bills. He said he don't want me to work. You got a good man. He don't want you to work? Yeah, child. He don't want me to work. I got it on and popping. This is the best man I ever had in my life. Is he still married? Yeah, he's still married, but she stay up north somewhere. They've been apart for 20, 25 years. And he said, whatever happened, it's all mine. You better check that out, sister. Did he tell you that? Yes, it's all mine when he died. Bet. Homeboy, he's in the bathtub. You in the bathtub with him, sister. You in the bathtub with him. Y'all having a bubble bath. Or better yet, y'all in the bed playing like y'all husband and wife. He on top of you. And y'all going at it. You know y'all don't supposed to be having sex. Y'all ain't married. Y'all having sex. And he come and go at the same time. Woo! Did Tony say that? Yep. He come and he goes at the same time. Look at Color Purple. Didn't that happen in one of those scenes? You remember when the man died? And Celia asked that girl, she said, How did he die? How did he die? That's Celia. How did he die? He was on top of me. Came and left at the same time. And that's what's going to happen to some of you sisters. And some of you brothers, too, that don't want to work and stuff. You depend on the lady. She doing everything. And you moved up in her crib. Same thing. Same situation. But anyway, my brother and sister, if someone, yes, Cheryl, if someone don't want to be with you, it's difficult and it's unpleasant. Okay? After you go through the denial After you go through the acceptance, yeah, it was just a day. Yep. And after you go through the denial, the acceptance, it comes to regroup. Once you get to the acceptance part, my brother and sister, you just say, look, it's over. Now I got to pick myself up. This is when you realize that what you got to do. I got to pick myself up. It's over, and I got to regroup. I need to have a better relationship with God. That's what the first thing I need to do. I need to have a good relationship with God. I don't need to date right now. This go for men and women. I don't need to date nobody right now. I just need some time for me. I need some time for me. I need to get more into the Lord. The Lord got something for me. I need to please the Lord instead of trying to please a man or a woman. My focus was off. I put this man or woman on a pedestal. It's my fault, Lord. I put that man and woman on the pedestal. And I accept this hurt. But Lord, I need you to help me with this hurt. I've been a fool. Yes, I've been TK'd. That's right. Teddy Pendergrass. Lord, I've been TK'd. And what Teddy Pendergrass said, I think I better let it go. It looks like another love. TKO. Yes, you got Mike Tyson down, brothers and sisters. You got the bam, and then you got the uppercut. Bam, 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 boom. You out. You out, you out, you out. Or you were just like Craig when Craig knocked Debo out. You all remember when Craig knocked Debo out? What did Smokey say? I think that was Chris Tucker name. He bent up. No, not Chris Tucker. It was that other little guy. He bent up. He looked at Debo and said, "You got knocked." I can't say no more, but you all remember that on Friday when Craig and Debo were fighting. You got knocked out, and that's what happened. But my brother and sister, you need to refocus. Get your life on Christ. And once you get your life on Christ, get yourself together. And sister, listen to me carefully, sister. Don't start dating no one else while you think you strong, but you're not. Brother, you think you strong, but you're not. But brother, more than likely you can, brother, they kind of like go ahead and accept a lot of time. And they just count the laws and move on. Even though it hurt, they just move on. But sister, you're vulnerable at this time. Don't get involved with no other man. Now, you see Sister Flo trying to get me to sabotage myself. She's talking about saying Tony. But anyway, sister, don't do it. Don't start dating no one. Don't let your girlfriend hook you up and all that kind of stuff. You're vulnerable right now. You already hurting. Let me tell you something, brother, my sister. The first person that you normally get with after a bad breakup, normally, most of the time, you don't end up with that person because that person is a transitional person. A transitional person is like a Band-Aid. It just covers up the wound. That's all a Band-Aid does. Or that person is like a bridge over troubled water. You just filling your time. So, my brother and sister, if somebody break up, don't do it. If they break up with you, don't do it. Brother and sister, if someone coming out of a bad relationship, don't bother them. Don't bother them. They're not ready for no relationship. You could talk, go get coffee or something like that, but don't get in and talk about we're in a relationship and all that kind of stuff. They're not ready. And then if you get involved with someone that just fresh out of a relationship, and then you get all into them, remember, you are the Band-Aid or you're the bridge over troubled water, and they might leave you. And then you hurt. You hurt. So, how to really know that the relationship is over? You got to look at the signs. The signs going to be there. There's different signs. Because remember, it's pattern and behavior. Believe what you see. Listen and match the action. Because it's a scale. You have to listen. And then you have to watch. Listen and watch. Word and action. The scale needs to be like this. It can't be unbalanced. If it's unbalanced, That's it, my brother and sister. That's it. If the scale is unbalanced. So I'm telling you, my brother and sister, there are some of you that you see the handwriting on the wall, but you don't want to believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Remember, can an Ethiopian change his skin or a leper his spot? Jeremiah 13:25 asked that question. No. Jesus said you could recognize them by the fruit that it bears. That's what Jesus said. Maya Angelou, if someone tell you or show you who he or she is, believe it. Those three solid sources. There's nothing new under the sun, my brother and sister. Nothing at all. And with that said, my brother and sister, I'm about to chill. I'm about to chill to the next episode. I love you, brothers. I love you, sister.